Yo. Yo. What up, Zach? We've got like 5 today. It's been a little bit better. Last week was a little bit lethargic, but how are things going over in Toyota land? What's going on, brother? Solid Monday. Yeah, we'll take it, right? I know in Toyota world that probably is like no cars sold, but you know, for us it's something. All right, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? Connor, what's going on? Oh, hold up. The man, the myth. I guess so. Here I am. All right. Sorry, just getting something set up real quick. Oop, that's not what we want. All right, is the 25 GLC Coupe for $850 a month lease a good deal? Yes, for a GLC Coupe, that's a fantastic deal. Andy, what's going on? Thank you for the hey there. How are you? Will, when do you think the first 2026 models will start showing up? That is the great question that we have no idea on. Mercedes is not giving us any information on that. So I would think maybe August possibly. We'll have to see. How would I know my lease cancellation fees over my Audi Q4? Well, Lissy, if you were, 2 different ways to do it. You can look at your remaining payments and your turn-in fee, or you can figure out what your payoff is and trade it in to a dealership. And you want to figure out what is the lesser of 2 evils. But getting out of leases early can be difficult for sure. So unless you truly are just miserable with it, I would ride it out as long as you can. Any suggestions on upgrading from a C300 RS? Well, depends on if you want to stay with a sedan or if you want to get into something totally different. But the E-Class would be the next logical step. Jimmy 2023 EQS 24K. AMG interior exterior package CPO for $47,000. Good. Yeah, I mean that's 47 grand for a car that was probably 120, 130 brand new. Pretty spectacular when you think of it in those terms. Abe, what would you say is your number 1 advice to a brand new salesperson? Best advice I can give you, Abe, is figure out who the top salesperson is at that dealership, and just be a sponge. Shadow them as much as you possibly can. Spend as much time around them as you possibly can. Just really pick their brain, figure out what they do. If you hang around successful people that perform at a high level, it will help you to be successful and perform at a high level. Thomas, curious about the plug-in hybrid models and the popularity new to considering Mercedes SUVs. So the GLC and the GLE plug-in hybrids specifically are doing really well. They have great range, between 50 and 60 miles of usable all-electric range. So I think it's the perfect way for people that are a little bit on the fence about having a full electric vehicle to have that backup of a gas car. So they've been quite popular. Samir, yes, you are getting the new G550. Congratulations on that, by the way. I think we just got the paperwork all finished up there, so it should be heading your way very shortly. How do we think the new CLA EQ is going to sell? That's all going to depend on how, what the official pricing is on it and whether or not it's incentivized. So I think that's going to be a very cool car. It's still an EV though, and so it's going to have to be a compelling lease payment for people to consider it. Frederick, hello from Mexico. Hello, Frederick. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. I have a question on putting in an application for a GLC 300. I haven't heard anything since Thursday. Did you put it in here, or where'd you put it in? Or who are you working with? Let's see, because if you put it in here, that would be very, that'd be very surprising. Trev, do you use V-Auto? I mean, we have V-Auto, but we don't use it anymore. We use AccuTrade. Andrew, Bernie versus Rafi is very different now. Really, nothing has changed, Andrew. I mean, it's all a lot of the same people that were here before. I mean, obviously, the industry has changed a lot since then, just because of COVID and all the craziness that happened there. But we're still doing our thing now, like we were then. So, $57K for a CPO 2025 GLC 300 coupe is a good deal. Depends on what the original MSRP of that car was, Kirsten. Definitely depends, because if it was a low equipment car, I'd say not a good deal. If it was a high equipment car, then probably a pretty good deal. Any thoughts on the 2014 GL451 owner, 100K miles, $6,500? I mean, it sounds like a reasonable price, but just, you want to make sure it had a good service history. Where is the best place to sell a used Tesla? Well, you could call EV Auto Alex. He does Teslas. You can always try CarMax or Carvana. Jimmy, Mercedes EVs are amazing. Not sure why people are. Oh, they're definitely amazing. It's just a matter of making them compelling enough on a lease payment for people to get on board. What is the difference between the two? Just curious, being a part of the auto industry. So, Trev, the biggest difference is that with V-Auto, you have to take the information that they are giving you, which is very high-level information, and you have to come up with the trade value yourself. And they don't do a very good job of breaking down the information that you're getting, whereas AccuTrade essentially is going to give you the number based on all of the data that it has. So it's a third party. It's kind of like Carvana versus a random dude trying to appraise your car. So it's just much more specific and detail oriented. How far away are we from flying cars? Well, Sandeep, I think that they thought that we'd already have flying cars by now, so I'd say we're a ways away from that. What is your favorite part of working with Mercedes? I love working with Volvo because of their image. Well, I mean, it's an amazing brand. I mean, I love the fact that I love the history. I love the innovation. I love that they have so many different models. There's something for everybody truly in this brand. I really love that about it. Mr. Wendell, hope your afternoon is great. Not a Mercedes question today, rather a request. Any way you guys could block Manuel Martinez from... Yeah, so I can definitely look into that. I don't know who that guy is or why he does that, but I can definitely look into that. So yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I just noticed that recently, that he's been spamming posts. Are you selling many 2025 GLC 350Es? Yeah. In fact, we sold one today. Great cars. Great cars. Love the range that you get on that. I think the plug-in hybrids are a really great option. Cloma, hey Doug, any GLS 580 coming soon? Only 2 available right now, but manufacturer. So, are you specifically referring to our inventory? I mean, we don't have any. Let me see if I have any inbound. If I've got any GLS 580s inbound, I probably have to go all the way back to production to find a couple of those. So there's always going to be some coming in, but yeah, the next ones look like they'll be 2026 models, and they're getting built in July and August. So I guess we'll find out when they are going to be here. Bruce, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Looking at C43 2021, do you think they will continue to value well over the next 3 years? I mean, if it's a 2021, you'll have a lot of the depreciation will be taken care of by now, so probably going to be at a nice purchase price. How heavily incentivized are demos? Just depends on what they are and how many miles they have. Jade Green S63 Coupe with a new yellow interior. You must put this spec together. Wow, that sounds loud, but it sounds cool. Robert, is the AMG GLS 63 due for a redesign soon? So new GLE and GLS will be coming next year as model year 2027s, but typically the AMG variants don't follow until the year after that. So we probably are looking at not until calendar year 2027, model year 2028 before we'd see a redesigned GLS 63 AMG. Terry, should I get the Meta glasses? I'm so torn. I'm trying to find somebody that's got a pair that will part with them for, 50% off, something like that, just because I don't know. Part of me thinks they'll be cool. Part of me thinks that it maybe won't be cool at all. So I don't want to spend $300 on it only to find out that, that I don't love them. But I think it could be a cool way for me to show kind of like the other side of the deal, the transaction. The only The only issue is going to be, some clever editing that will be required to make sure that personal information gets left out. That's the only problem. So, how can I mark myself effective in the online as a salesperson? I'm not sure if I'm understanding that question. We have 115,000 Hummers that are leasing for $899, all upfront fees rolled in. Do you think Mercedes is all? Yeah, so again, I'm not sure if and when Mercedes-Benz is going to incentivize the G580, but even if they do, these are $175,000 to $185,000 trucks, so they're quite a bit more, and I just don't see them ever getting to that kind of price. I really don't. It'd be great, we'd sell them easily, but I just don't see that happening. Jupperman, hello, what's going on? Any great lease deals on the GLE Coupe? I mean, GLE Coupes are expensive, but we got good deals on everything. Brad, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Thanks for hitting the like button and the subscribe button and the follow button. I appreciate it very much. Jesus, what's the biggest difference between working in a Mercedes dealership compared to a Honda or Chevy? I mean, I think that the difference doesn't matter so much about the brand. It matters just about the dealership itself. What's the culture like? It really just comes down to the culture, right? You don't have to be selling a luxury car to give luxury experiences, right? And just because it is a luxury brand doesn't mean that it's going to be a luxury experience, right? I've seen some very well Honda and Toyota stores out there that would give any luxury store a run for their money. So it just depends on the dealership, the way it's run, the people that are there. Jacob, which Mercedes-Benz model would you recommend for somebody looking for a small, medium, certified pre-owned SUV? I'd say GLC. Go with the GLC. DPG, I'm in Pittsburgh. What's the benefit of buying from you guys instead of local? Love the content. The benefit to doing business with us is that you know exactly what we're going to be very transparent with you, and we'll make it extremely easy. We'll deliver the car right to your driveway if that's what you want, or you can come here. I think that what everyone's greatest fear is when they go to buy any car is, are they going to get the runaround? Are they going to get taken advantage of? Is it going to be painful? Is it going to take a long time? Are there going to be resistance that they're met with? And while I can't guarantee you that we will be cheaper than a local dealer potentially, I can almost guarantee you with certainty that we will be far easier. Even though we might not be around the corner from you, everything that we do is about making it easy. So that's the appeal, right? It's going into a situation knowing what to expect versus the unknown of what you might get from any local random dealer. So let's see. Hyphen Studios, love my GLC, great car, moved up to a GLE 53, very nice. Yeah, that's we tend to see that. Start at GLC, work their way up to a GLE from there. What do you got on trade for? Oh, AMG Jared, thank you for the gift. Very kind of you. What do you got on trade for a 2019 911 Turbo with 38K on it? Well, send us the VIN. We'll look at it. Andrew, what percentage of S-Class are customer ordered versus purchased from you? In-stock pricing is better if you buy in stock. In-stock pricing and whether you do a custom build, there shouldn't be any difference in pricing, at least not for us. I mean, that's still an in-stock car, even if you're building it. You don't technically order Mercedes-Benzes. They're all allocations that are going to get built anyway. So it's just whether or not you're putting your personal information and your custom build on the car, or if we're building it for stock. But yeah, it's the deal should be about the same either way. Need a lease deal for a C300 for SoCal? Can you help? Of course. We can help anybody anywhere in the country. Absolutely. Jared, Colin misses you. Who's B more? Don Gordon, good day. Yes, I agree with your take on the glasses. Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not. James' wife picked up her third Mercedes-Benz, a 2014 E550 Cabrio. Very nice. I like the E-Cabs. She's a super fan, and our experience with MB dealers has always been amazing. I'm glad to hear that. Her daily is a 2019 GLA 4MATIC. Absolutely wonderful cars. James, I love that. I can tell that you are a Mercedes-Benz family. Love to hear that. I'm glad that your experiences have been positive. So yeah, Chivo, we have C300s with the AMG package. We've got some demos that you might be interested in. Gone, I can't believe I'm the bridge for that question. I must have missed the first part. Was told today I was lying when I tried to explain that your overmileage fees don't disappear. Yeah. Unfortunately, there is a lot of bad information out there. There are people who truly do believe that over-mile fees just go away, and they just don't. They just don't. Chivo, if you go to the link in my bio, right, just go to my bio, go to the link. There's a work with Doug Horner and team, and just put your information there, and we'll be in touch with you right away. And yes, Trev, I do, new and pre-owned. I sit in the new car building, so my focus is more often on the new, but we do pre-owned as well. We got somebody, we're waiting to hear back from a dealer on a GT63. That would be a cool car to get. I have a 2016 CLS 400, 95,000 miles mint. I currently owe 26 grand. How deep in the hole am I? That sounds kind of like a $15,000 car to me, if I had to guess. Jake, which model is comfortable for long drives and easy on the lower back and good for someone 6'2" that's not an EV, either a sedan or SUV if the budget is $86K? So Jake, you could look at a E-Class or a GLE, but again, people that have back problems, I always recommend that you do go sit in the cars and take a little bit of an extended test drive, just because that is such a unique scenario to you, and I don't know until you get in that seat and sitting there for a little bit, it's just impossible to know if it's going to be comfortable or not for you. AMG Jerry carried you guys, okay. Any C-Class lease deals to eat up about 7K negative equity? Definitely. Yeah, C-Class demo would help make that go away much, very quickly. David, hey Doug, big fan of MB. Thanks for the informative videos. Do I have any leverage when turning in my 23 C300 AMG line with Knight? Starling Blue loaded, 15K miles of 30K remaining lease, 20. Yeah, I mean, so you might, right? If you get to the end of the lease and you're under miles and you've got a nicely equipped car, there's always the chance that you've got some equity. I mean, we always take a look just to be sure. Right? If somebody's got equity, I want to make sure that we uncover it. I don't ever want people to leave money on the table. And again, we're still waiting on pricing for the new upcoming CLA EV and gas, right? There were rumors that I'd been told that the EV and the ICE would be priced the same. Remains to be seen. What's up, Don?
Did you have that deal online? I gave it to you. Did you give it to Jessica?
Just has it, yep. David, hey Doug, I have a 2014 SLK 250 Carbon Edition. Awesome. Oh, that you purchased from here back in 2014. That's amazing. How can I find out how many of this model was produced by Mercedes-Benz? We'd have to go back and see if there was a press release about that. I'm not sure. What's up?
China Foods is here. Al's brother.
Okay.
What percentage off sticker for a 26 GLE 450 build? It would be here probably the first week of October.
GLE 450?
Regular, not coupe.
5.25.
So 5.5
plus any applicable incentives.
Yeah.
Okay. The new AMG S63E looks crazy. I can't believe there's some online for 210. Yeah, they're expensive, but they're hot. Adarius, happy Monday, tuning in from Houston. I appreciate that. Thank you. Andy, have any EQB demos released? Yes, I've got a couple of 2024 EQB demos left. They are smoking good deals. EQBs are really, really good right now. So that is if anybody just wants their inexpensive payment to get their foot in the door, or if they've got a lot of negative equity to eat up, that is the way to do it. Han Solo, good to see you. How are you? Hello all the way from Oregon. I should be a Christmas elf? Okay. Do you accept EBT? No. Faith, how much is the lease on the G580? They're up in the $2,400 range, somewhere in that $2,500 to $2,800, depending on how you structure it. They're still expensive, even when you are really getting aggressive on the pricing. They're still expensive.
Hi.
What's up?
Can we work with the numbers?
Yeah. What we got?
Clients here have a Mini Cooper lease expiring in October, but they're looking for a GLC coupe, something bigger sooner.
What are they going to do with the Mini?
They're just gonna keep it.
Okay.
This is in Fredericksburg.
All the GLC coupes we have in stock, and you couldn't sell one of them.
Heated rear seats are a must.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Apparently they want kids super soon and want But they're gonna be in the car seats, and now that I think about it, that doesn't make that sense. But yeah,
Their kids won't be able to sit in those seats for like
they do
6
also,
years.
Yeah, they do also have a bunch of families that they travel around with. So they were considering a third row vehicle, but they don't really need it. So it's very.
So they're getting a GLC coupe with a low roof line for all their friends and family. So while they're suffering with little headroom, they at least can have heated rear seats.
Yeah, that was their one must-have. I tried. It was like.
It just doesn't
Very,
really make
very rare.
sense.
Um,
Yeah, that is maybe less than 5% of GLC coupes would have that.
yeah. So I found one that
Okay.
they like.
What if it's not available?
Then they would custom build. They don't need it now. They were obviously their lease doesn't.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much sense it makes, but look, if that's what they want, that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And how are they looking to pay for it?
She'd lease 12,000 miles a year, probably 36 months. They both are physicians. One of them for Cleveland Clinic, the other for Metro. So
All right, so they got fleet.
yeah.
You said 12,000 miles?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna cost us about $400 to get it here from Virginia. And then we've got a $500 incentive for working for Cleveland Clinic or Metro. Either or would be fine.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to manually do the residuals here because they are not updating.
Oh gosh, see?
Was this a walk-in, phone up?
Yeah, I'm walking.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, so have you kind of gone over with them how GLC coupes are kind of expensive relative to GLC regulars? What's the motivation for getting the coupe? Is they just like the way it
I
looks?
like the way it looks, yeah.
Okay.
No, I did not go over that.
Okay. That's just it's always a good thing to bring up right away because I think people are caught off guard by that a lot. Right? It's kind of hard to explain to somebody why what on paper seems like kind of the same car is just a lot more money because it can be.
Right.
Right? It's not a great reason, but that's the reason.
Okay.
Right? How much down?
Show them 3 to 5.
All right, 3 to 5. Okay. Yeah, like this has a standard money factor
Mm-hmm.
compared to an incentivized one, which makes a big difference, yeah. But it has a good residual. The residual drops very slowly past 3 years, so longer terms are.
Maybe 39 with that.
39 doesn't really do much, but like 42 and 48 will start to drop the payment pretty considerably. So I put a couple different options on there for you.
Okie doke.
And this is a pretty expensive car too.
It is,
74K for
Mhm.
a GLC coupe. That's up there.
Yeah.
This feels to me this has got a trailer hitch. This feels like a custom build that somebody backed out of.
I have no
Right.
idea.
Trailer hitch, heated rear seats, the two things that are very uncommon.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing, please make sure they know that's got 20-inch
Summer
wheels.
tires.
Yep,
Mhm.
performance tires. So,
Yep.
all right.
Thanks.
All right, clip-on or did you tie the no? No clip-ons here. These are all ties. I tied these myself. All right, hello from Tennessee. Taylor, what's the deal with Amex? So the American Express program has gone away. I apologize for the confusion on that. These are older videos that they were filmed last year when we had that program. American Express is gone now. We do have, AAA, Sam's Club, USAA. There's a lot of other ways to get that same incentive. They can't all be combined. But headroom is totally overrated. Yeah. Well, hopefully, the GLC coupes are fun, but the second row passengers definitely are going to sacrifice some headroom there. This guy annoys me. Oh, I apologize, Kels. You don't have to stick around if I annoy you. Right? You could move on. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the follow button. Really do appreciate that. And subscribe over on YouTube if you haven't done that already. The longer videos are over there, but really appreciate you all being here, and I do try my best to get to everyone's questions. It is a lot coming through all at one time. So, hello from London. Hello, hello. Thanks for saying hi. I would never buy a Mercedes, yet I love all the lives and videos. Well, that's good. I appreciate you watching the videos and hanging out in the lives, right? That's good by me. Are you ever going to move out of Cleveland? I really don't see that happening. My family and I are, my wife and I are both from Cleveland originally. Our families are here. We love it here, so this is where we want to be. I have an E63S, the most favorite car I've ever had. Well, Taylor, that's a great car. Hard not to like that. Jeffrey, last time I watched on one of these, I bought a car from you. That's true. So maybe if you're watching again, we can do another deal here. So, let me see here. All right, this is... So yeah, John, we were able to successfully locate that GLS 63 AMG for you today. So we're moving forward on that. Congratulations on that. Very exciting. May need to have Johnny make a call. There you go. I'm planning to buy an AMG GLE 53 or the GLE 63. What's the best for the long term? I'd get the 53. Unless you have to have the V8, but long term, the value on the 53 will be better. Todd, on average, how many hours do sales associates work per week? 45 to 50, somewhere in there probably. Shane, hello from Austin, MB of Austin customer here. Shane, thanks for saying hi. Appreciate that. What's a BMW X5 equivalent? That would be a Mercedes GLE. The GLE is our X5 equivalent. Todd, on average, how many hours do sales associates work a week? Oh, I just answered that one, sorry. Sam, I can't wait to start my sales career this week. Sam, congratulations and welcome to the business. And yeah, again, make sure you find whoever the most successful person is in that dealership, shadow them, right? Pick their brains. That is who you want to spend time around. Red Doug, long time no see. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. Fab, I think you're phenomenal at what you do. That's really kind of you to say. I appreciate that. Every time I watch you, I learn something. That means a lot. If I can teach anybody anything, if anyone learns anything from any of my videos, that's a win in my book. So, makes more sense to lease or finance an M3. I think with the M3, you could probably get away with either. It just depends on how long you realistically plan on keeping the car. With any luxury car, my lean is always going to be leasing, just because you protect yourself from the uncertainty of depreciation. Chuck, more people need to be looking at the CLE 53. I can't get enough of driving this. Chuck, I agree. The CLE 53 is an absolute home run of a car. I think Mercedes-Benz knocked it out of the park. I'm glad that you're loving yours, because it's my favorite car that they've done in years. They are amazing. So I'm really glad to hear that you're loving yours. How long have you worked at Mercedes-Benz? It's been about 14 years now that I've worked for Mercedes-Benz, if you can believe it.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do we have any idea when we should start seeing 2026 prices, or nothing?
No idea.
Figured as much. Alright, thanks.
They are kicking that can as far down the road as they possibly can.
Yeah, and then of course they're like, well, can you look for, another 2025 allocation for a GSC Coupe? I'm like,
No, they're done.
yeah.
Yeah, production's done on those.
Okay.
So, and normal people use AccuTrade. Well, you'd have to work for a dealership to use it, but does Mercedes salespeople put on a salary? No, I mean, we work on commissions. Diana, my husband always likes to lease. I prefer buying, and I've learned a lot about leasing from you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy to educate. I know, the leasing versus buying thing is funny to me, because it's really a lot of the way that people were kind of brought up, or the initial car education that they received, whatever that may be, and so people feel very strongly about it one way or another. And it's not that one's right and one's wrong. It's just that observationally, after doing this for 15 years, I see a lot of people that should lease that don't, and that's where they get into trouble, right? It's just we have to make our peace with the kind of car buyer that we are, right? Some of us get a new car every couple of years. Some of us get cars even sooner than that. But if you're holding on to cars for a long time, then go ahead and buy them. But otherwise, you're going to end up, it'll cost you a lot of money. It's the best of all worlds. Yeah, Chuck, I agree. I think the CLE 53 is absolutely red hot. I'm gonna, put a little tip of the cap to myself here. I saw the writing on the wall with how popular that car was going to be, and we were able to stockpile on them before everyone else caught on to it. So we've really built up an amazing inventory of them. There are pretty much none out there around the country, but we've got the majority of them, and they've just been selling like crazy, and they're for good reason. It's a great car, so good looking. Can I customize a lease with performance and exhaust, or does it have to stay original? You can customize leases more than you think, but performance, sure. Minimally, you don't want to avoid the warranty. Exhaust, they would ding you for that if you didn't put it back to OEM. Thoughts on manufacturer Alpine Gray in the CLE 53? I love it. Alpine Gray is a great color. Trev, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so I have to call somebody back here, so I'm going to do that. And I do have a couple things to wrap up for the day, so I apologize that I didn't get on until a little later than I would have liked to, but I do appreciate everyone coming by to hang out for a little bit. And again, as always, we'll try to get on live at least every day if I can. But thank you so much for everyone hanging out with me for a little bit tonight. And